Am I the asshole for not drinking during my girlfriend's family tradition? So long story short, I have a personal rule to never drink alcohol. I have a myriad of reasons from general health to honoring loved ones, but that's not the point. The point is that I do not drink ever. My girlfriend and I went to her family party and apparently they have a tradition of everyone taking a shot to honor one of their dead relatives. Everyone does it at the same time and talks about what they're thankful for and everything, but I told the person handing me the shot I wouldn't drink, and he looked at me funny. Her cousin pointed me out before they drank it and said I need a shot and I said no I'm okay I don't drink and he said it's just one shot and I said no I can't but please continue I'll just drink something else and they refused to start. I ended up leaving after being egged on too much and my girlfriend apologized for me and we left. She did her best to defend me but her family is just stubborn. Everyone was talking about me apparently saying that I was selfish and how I was ruining the night. It was just one shot but I couldn't bring myself to do it. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. That's very inconsiderate of them. You could be a recovering alcoholic or whatever. It's never a good idea to push someone to drink alcohol. Never. And that's coming from someone who likes to drink. Respect people's boundaries. Not the asshole. This is absolutely gross and unacceptable behavior to be coming from adults. Not the asshole. As someone who also does not drink, do not concede. If you do it once, like I sadly did, they'll try to make you do it every time. Info. Will doing that shot bring this person back from the dead? Not the asshole. When folks don't have that ability to respect basic autonomy about drinking, that is always a reflection on their drinking or at least their ideas about drinking which by that point are likely not healthy. Not the asshole. Your choice not to drink. Nothing more needs to be said. Not the asshole. I don't know why some people think coercing someone into taking a drug they don't want is okay when it's alcohol. Ask them if they think it would be okay to make someone smoke a cigarette or take a bong hit because it's a family tradition. Not the asshole you don't drink. Period. It's not anyone else's business why. Am I the asshole for not snowblowing the new neighbor's driveway? Our old neighbor, Mr. B, passed away last year. He was a very sweet old man, kind of like the neighborhood grandpa. He was a widower, and the last couple years started having mobility issues. When it snowed, we would go over with the snowblower and clear his driveway and salt the walk. In the summer if I was out mowing, I would do his lawn too. When his health went downhill, we got his groceries and would bring him meals. When he passed away, we continued to mow the lawn and take care of the outside of the house when it was vacant. His children were very appreciative and thanked us for taking care of Mr. B when they could not be here. They eventually sold the house, and the new neighbors moved into the house in the fall. We introduced ourselves and did the standard neighbor greeting. We noticed they didn't have any lawnmowers or snowblower, so we told them that they should get those things sooner rather than later since we typically start getting snow in November. A few times when I was out mowing, the neighbor asked me to mow their lawn, and I obliged, but told him that they should really consider getting their own yard tools or calling a service. We just had a huge snowfall, and are expected to get more this weekend. The neighbor came to my house early on Sunday morning and banged on my door asking when I was going to be out snowblowing as they need to get to work. I told the neighbors that I was not going out to shovel, snowblow anytime soon, so they may want to dig their cars out so they could get to work. He told me that they didn't have any shovels and explained that they were relying on me to come over and take care of it. I told him that I was not planning on doing that, told him that he could borrow a shovel if he would like, but I was going back to bed. When I did go out to shovel and snowblow several hours later, I did not do their driveway. The neighbors are now angry at me, and he confronted me outside saying that it's my fault that they had to call out of work. My wife thinks I should have sucked it up and went over, but I told her that I am not a landscaping service, and that I should not have to wake up early and shovel their driveway. Am I the asshole for not snowblowing for the neighbors? Not the asshole. Their sense of entitlement is shocking. Why on earth would you be responsible for this? Not the asshole. And #X200B. And stop the mowing, too. Do not let that entitled asshole exploit you anymore. And #X200B. My wife thinks I should have sucked it up and went over. If she really thinks that, tell her she knows where the snowblower is, and she is fine to do it. She is an too. Not the asshole. They are preying on your kindness. Fuck them and their entitlement. Not the asshole. You are not a free landscaping service. Your neighbor is an entitled prick who is trying to take advantage of you. Do not do anything else for them. Not the asshole. What? In what world is it your obligation to do your neighbor's household chores for free just because you helped out the previous owner of the house? That's some shocking entitlement. Not the asshole. You were nice and neighborly by offering to lend them things and even giving them the heads up about when you typically get snow where you live. Their inability to properly prepare for the elements isn't your issue. Not the asshole. Tell your wife that if she thinks you owe it to the neighbors to shovel their driveway, she can do it. Not the asshole. You repeatedly told them you weren't going to clear their driveway. It's not like this was a surprise for them. Also, just because you did this as a favor for the previous owners of the house does not obligate you to do it for them. After all, you had a relationship with the previous owners. Now they are blaming you for their own lack of planning. They are entitled children. Let them be mad at you. Chances are if you did this for them, not only would this have started an expectation that you do it from here on out, but they would have escalated in their requests to do more. Finally, they never asked you to help. They came over and demanded to know when you were going to clear their yard. Like you were some kind of servant. Really, you need to nip this in the bud right now. Am I the asshole for not wanting to name my 33M son Jong-yun? My wife, 32F, and I are expecting our first bundle of joy. We're absolutely thrilled. I personally can't wait to be a dad. The due date is April 21st. We're from Ireland. My wife has been a huge fan of the South Korean boy band SHINee since 2008. Their music apparently got her through a lot of tough times. Jong-yun was a member of this group. He unfortunately passed away in 2017. From what I've read online about him, he seems to have been an amazing guy. My wife was devastated when she found out about his death and told me that when we'll have a kid and if it's a boy she's going to name him Jong-yun in his honor. At the time I didn't really take her seriously. The time has come though and she's very serious about it. She wasn't joking. She even picked out the meaning cuz it actually depends on the Chinese, Hanja, characters you use. Zong, Zhong, lineage, ancestry, ancestor, clan and Xian, Hyeon, virtuous, worthy, good, able. She speaks Korean, I don't. I love how the name sounds, the nickname Jong and the meaning, but the issue is we're both 100% white. I'm literally blonde with green eyes and she's ginger with blue eyes plus fair skin. Legit as white as they come. I told her that I don't think this is appropriate because we have no Korean blood in us, and she said that's not a problem since it's cultural appreciation and not appropriation. She told me she doesn't want to compromise when it comes to the first name and I can just pick whatever middle name I want and she's going to be okay with it. She said that this name means too much for her to give up on it. Her favorite singer, artist, born in the same year as her. Our son is gonna be born in the same month as him, etc. Not the asshole. I think maybe your wife needs to stop thinking about what she wants, and start thinking about how having a traditionally Korean name will impact your unborn child as they progress through life. You son would get shit for that from the first day of school. Not the asshole perhaps suggest an anglicized version of the name that sounds similar? John Young or something? Not the asshole. Kids' names is a strict, 2 yes, 1 no, decision. Either parent can veto a name choice, no questions asked. And seriously, don't do this to your child. Kids can be cruel, and bring a pale white boy with a Korean name as an invitation for bullies. Not the asshole. You both need to be 100% on board with any name you give your child. Perhaps you could give the child his surname, Kim, as a middle name, but I'm a Korean-born adoptee who has a Korean middle name. Incorrect. But that's a whole other kettle of fish, and I was given so much shit for having a Korean name even though I am Asian. Hooray for white UK middle-class suburbia. So I'd say you should even think carefully about that. Not the asshole. As a K-pop fan myself, I would be displeased if my boyfriend who also loves K-pop randomly wanted to name our child after a male or female K-pop artist. As for the cultural appropriation, I'm white myself and therefore cannot speak on if it is or isn't, however it is a tad weird emo. Yoongi is my favorite K-pop idol and has been the last 7 years, but I would never name my white child after him. Not the asshole. I understand you wife is, grieving, but she only wants to give the child this name for her and it's quite selfish. She's not thinking of what you want and she is absolutely not thinking of the child. Stand firm mate, don't do this to your child. Not the asshole. Obviously, you can't name a white Western child after a dead Korean pop star, for half a dozen reasons. How about choosing him a name that either sounds like, or has the same meaning as, the singer's name? A quick search suggests Oliver Timothy as meaning, descendant of the ancestor, and, honorable, Or you could pick names with a similar sound. It isn't just that it's bordering on cultural appropriation. It's that it isn't fair on your son. He will spend his entire life explaining his name and being thought weird. Ideally, we wouldn't live in a world where having a Korean name is a disadvantage unless you are in Korea, but that's the reality. Your wife can't change that by dogmatically hoping. Not the asshole. I was cringing the entire time I read this. If it means that much to her, propose a compromise. Use Jong Yun as baby's middle name and a family nickname. And give him a different first name. Am I the asshole for telling my son's girlfriend to give back the necklace that he gave to her son? I lost my son Adam unexpectedly 2 weeks ago. He met his girlfriend, who's a single mom of a 6-year-old boy, over 2 years ago. His girlfriend and I did not agree on a lot of things largely due to our differences. There has always been some tension between us, but we do enough to tolerate. I didn't know about Adam's relationship with his girlfriend until months ago. I'll never know why he hid this from me, but that doesn't matter. Adam was adopted when he was months old. I gave him a cross necklace on his 7th birthday right after he started attending church. I cherish this necklace so much because it resembles his dedication to the church and is part of his identity. He kept it for years, but I found out that he had actually gifted it to his girlfriend's son 2 months prior to his death. I contacted his girlfriend to tell her about it and asked that she return it to me. She explained that Adam gave it to her son for his 6th birthday and he loved it and clung to it so much, and she can't take it away from him, especially now that he's grieving, and this necklace has now become a source of comfort for him. I told her that it's originally mine and TJAT I need to have it because it carries too many memories of Adam, and so the sentimentality of it is too important to give up. She pleaded that I have some understanding for her son's position, but in return I told her to be a little more logical because Adam was in my life for years. He's my son, but her son only known him for 2 years. She accused me of making light of hers and her son's grief, but that wasn't my intention. I insisted she give it back and work it out with her son any way she sees fit. But she insisted it was Adam's to give and not mine to take. She then blamed me, saying I'll be responsible if I keep pressuring her and disrupting her son's grief, and accused me of taking my resentment for her out on him. I told her he's not my grandchild, nor do I have any connection to him. Why would I be responsible for anything related to them both for that matter? We argued some more and she ended up hanging up. I don't mean to sound vindictive, just want my son's stuff back. My husband said that I should just let it go since Adam wanted the kid to have the necklace anyway, but I'm still trying to contact Adam's girlfriend about it. You are the asshole. He wanted the child to have the necklace, so you don't have a say in this. This isn't a competition of, oh, I knew him wayyyyyy longer than you. Significant other, it's automatically my right, like dudette I get you lost your son, but you're infringing upon other people's grief and being a dick about it. YTA, sorry to say. Leave that poor girl alone. The fact is that it doesn't matter that you owned the necklace in the past. It became your son's property and your son made the choice to gift it to the boy. While I completely understand wishing you had it, you have no right to it. Frankly, how beautiful that Adam means so much to the boy. You have a lifetime of memories to cherish. He has that necklace. I'm sorry for your loss. Everyone else is focusing on how it isn't yours, and wasn't Adam's. And while that's all true, and that alone makes you the asshole, I want to take a moment to point out that you're trying to take something from a young child that means a lot to him, and maybe the only thing he has to remember Adam by. That Adam gave him the necklace tells us that they had a special relationship. Adam was probably the closest thing he had to a father, and you're trying to take that away from him. You should be ashamed of yourself. You are the asshole. You need to let this go for everyone's sake, including your own, and focus on healing. I'm so incredibly sorry for your loss. As one parent to another, I can't imagine the pain you're going through. Holy shit, yeah, you are the asshole. As somebody going through grief, you should have sympathy for somebody else who is also going through grief. The fact of the matter is that the necklace is not yours anymore. You gifted it to your son. He felt confident enough with his relationship with this woman that he did a very fatherly thing and gifted it to her son. He wanted the boy to have it. Respect your son's wishes. I'm sorry for your loss, I really am, but you really need to gain some empathy. You have lost a son, but she has lost a partner and the boy has lost a father figure. Try coming together to ease the pain instead of opening new wounds. You are the asshole. Adam gave it to this child. Your son would not want you to do this. You are the asshole. Your husband is 100% right. I see you are grieving. But I can also see why Adam kept those he cared about a secret from you for so long. And Op wonders why they didn't know about their kid's relationship until a few months ago? You are the asshole. I'm very sorry for your loss. However, you are the asshole. The necklace belonged to your son, which he gifted to his girlfriend's son. I do think there's some info missing here, considering we don't know why you and your son's girlfriend has some tension between you two, or why your son didn't tell you that he had a girlfriend. In the end, the necklace belonged to your son. He gave it to someone else who it now belongs to. Someone who loved your son, and someone who is also grieving. This is not a competition of who's deserving of grieving the most.